Jude Bellingham has taken over world football, but what if his little brother becomes even better? Jobe Bellingham is now following in his footsteps, even joining Dortmund, just like Jude. So today, I'm taking control of Jobe's entire career to answer one question. Can he surpass his brother or fall into the shadow forever? Jude Bellingham has taken over world football, but what if his little brother becomes even better? Jobe Bellingham is now following in his footsteps, even joining Dortmund, just like Jude. So today, I'm taking control of Jobe's entire career to answer one question. Can he surpass his brother or fall into the shadow forever? That's what we'll see over the next 15 seasons. Which brother will be more successful? So he has been signed by Dortmund just recently, but he still has a very low rating. So already in the first season, I will be putting him on the loan list so he can get some game time abroad. Let's see what clubs might offer for him. And first offer we've gotten is Nottingham Forest. Jobe in the Premier League could be interesting, but I don't think he would get enough game time there. So I'm going to have to reject. Another Premier League offer, Bournemouth this time. But again, I feel like he just wouldn't get game time here either. Now he gets an offer from Aston Villa, which I'm going to reject. But CD Ligan's could be interesting. They don't have the strongest midfield, so he would get game time, and even play in the LA Liga against his brother. I think this would be the perfect loan club for him, so I will accept it. And Jobe Bellingham is now officially a CD Liganese player for one season. He does fit in very nicely to the team. He will definitely get game time here. And for his development plan, I'll put playmaker on him, so he can improve his shooting, passing, but also dribbling. Let's just simulate the first season and see if he actually grows here. And CD Leganes actually finishes in 9th place. Mid-table is pretty good for them. He could not win the Copa de España. That was his brother Jude who won it with Real Madrid. But Jobe did get 3 goals with 4 assists. But more importantly, he grew 3 ratings. So we've basically completed the main objective for Season 1, which is basically to get some game time, but also grow. And he's done exactly that. His loan with CD Leganes has ended though, so he has now gone back to Dortmund. And he even grew 1 more rating in the off-season, but he's ready to be a starter in this Dortmund team now. Maybe he'll start winning some trophies. His brother Jude Bellingham has grown to a 92, still dominating with Real Madrid. But this time I will put Shadow Striker on him as the development plan, so he can get his shooting up and actually start to score some goals. Let's see how he does in the first season with Dortmund. And Dortmund finishes in 3rd, which is a decent start. Bayern wins the DFB Pokal, and Dortmund lost to them in the semi-finals. Dortmund was in the Champions League where they did do well in the league phase, but then instantly lost to Juventus. And Jobe Bellingham plays 45 games with 3 goals and 4 assists. That's amazing game time. But he does only grow 2 ratings. The main goal is obviously to do better than Jude Bellingham. But in these 15 seasons, there are also some side goals, such as winning 20 trophies in total. He currently has none. Get to a 95 overall, and also win at least 2 Ballon d'Ors. He's getting a lot of game time here in Dortmund. I think it only makes sense to keep him in this team. His shooting has improved massively. The only yellow stat he's got left is his defending. So let's put holding midfielder on him to really make him a complete midfielder. And let's simulate Season 3 now. And oh my God, I actually don't believe it. Jobe Bellingham wins his first trophy with Dortmund, the Bundesliga, and it doesn't stop there. He even wins the damn DFB Pokal. Imagine he wins the treble now? But no, that doesn't happen as Dortmund loses to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. But Jobe Bellingham actually didn't do that well. Only 26 games and only grew 1 rating. That means one thing only. I think it's time he leaves Dortmund, finds another club suited better for him, so he will go on the transfer list now. Let's see what clubs offer for him. And first offer that's come in for him is Brentford. It's decent, but he won't get the chance to win trophies, so I will have to reject them. He now also gets an offer from Bilbao and also Sevilla. Again, I just don't think those are the right clubs for him at the moment. Lazio could be an interesting club. Playing in the Serie A, I think I'll actually accept. And Jobe Bellingham is now officially a Lazio player. Will the Serie A be better for him? He does fit in well into that midfield. And a quick update on Jude Bellingham. He's still on Real Madrid, but now 94 rated. A lot of catching up to do for Jobe, but let's see if he can do that now. Lazio did actually only finish in 10th. in the Serie A, not the best of starts. But they did actually win the Italian Super Cup, which adds another trophy to Bellingham's trophy list. But Roma won the Coppa Italia, and Lazio went on to lose to Milan. And Lazio lost to Lyon in the Europa League round of 16, so still no European trophy for Jobe. Jobe did get 7 goals, but more importantly, he grew 4 ratings, which is huge. That's amazing growth. So good that I'll keep him here for yet another season. The 2028 Euros is actually coming up. Jobe did actually not get called up, but his brother obviously did. But England did, in fact, not win the Euros. The winners were Portugal. But Jobe is looking pretty all-rounded, but he isn't getting enough assists. So I will be putting in deep-lying playmaker so he can get his passing stat up. So let's just simulate another season and see how he does now. Lazio in 6th place, already a big improvement from last season. They are not able to win the Coppa Italia though, and Jobe with 5 goals and 3 assists, but also another +2. I think it's time now. Move Jobe Bellingham to a top club. Let's put him on the transfer list and see what top clubs will offer for this great youngster. First offer is from Newcastle, but I think we can do a lot better than them. But he now also gets an offer from Arsenal. Jobe Bellingham and Arsenal could be really amazing to see, and I will do it. Jobe Bellingham has now gone to Arsenal to play in the Premier League. His brother Jude Bellingham is still at Madrid. Bro is never leaving them. Anyways, what a good team this is. He might actually surpass his brother in a few seasons, if he can really explode here at Arsenal. But let's just sim his first season and see how he does. Arsenal finished in 3rd and not 2nd. That's surprising. They did win the Community Shield, which is another trophy for Jobe, but he couldn't win the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, and they couldn't even make it through the league phase of the Champions League. But it looks like Jobe has gotten plenty of game time here, and he has grown quite a bit as well. That's very good. He has even been called up for the 2030 World Cup. First time he will be playing alongside his brother Jude Bellingham. Can they win a trophy together? And England loses to Norway in the quarterfinals. England is actually so bad. Both Bellinghams played 5 games, but Jobe got no goal contributions. But let's just simulate another season with him here at Arsenal. And what the hell happened here? Why is Arsenal only in 12th? They couldn't win the FA Cup or Carabao Cup either. And still no European trophy for Jobe. Jobe did still have a pretty decent season, scoring 7 and assisting 7. And I've been keeping a track of his and his brother's stats. And Jude is still doing a lot better. But Jobe is beginning to catch up just a little. So all hope is not lost. But I will be keeping him here at Arsenal for 1 more year, just to see if he can help this atrocious club. And Arsenal gets 7th this season. Still not a Premier League title for Jobe. They don't win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup either. And Arsenal wasn't in any European competition obviously because they had a stinker last season. But wow, what a season from Jobe Bellingham. 20 goals with 7 assists and growing 2 ratings. The media is beginning to notice this boy. He's had his best ever season so far yet, and we're halfway through. Can he catch up to Jude Bellingham? Well, Arsenal did try and secure a contract renewal with Jobe Bellingham, but Jobe was not interested in staying here at Arsenal. He wants to join a better performing club, so Arsenal is forced to put him on the transfer list. What clubs will offer for Jobe? But before he decides on joining another club, he has Euros to play with England, and England plays really well and even goes on to win the whole thing, beating Italy in the final. Jude and Jobe wins the Euros together, and Jobe played every match and even got a goal, which he did get against Italy in the final. So many clubs were interested in Jobe, such as PSG, Juventus, Manchester City, and even Real Madrid. But there is one club that might be a really good fit for him. A shock move, some might say. But Jobe Bellingham signed the contract with FC Barcelona. The young star from England will be in a rivalry against his brother, a very controversial switch. But he will play alongside starts such as Araujo, Pedri, and even Lamine Yamal. Will this be the right choice for Jobe? Let's find out. And what first season by Jobe in Barcelona? Barcelona outperforms Real Madrid to win the La Liga. They even win the Copa de España, but they lose to Jobe's former club Dortmund in the Champions League. But Jobe Bellingham has an incredible first season here with 20 goals and 13 assists, and even reaching the same overall as Jude Bellingham now. The race is really on. It's beginning to get intense. Jobe and Jude really don't like each other now, but he is 28 years old, so he realistically only has 1 or maybe 2 years left to grow if he can grow any ratings. I will put half winger on him so he can get his pace up, but he's had an amazing season. Let's see if he has won the Ballon d'Or also. And no, he can't win it. It's his teammate Samu that wins it. And it doesn't go as smoothly in the second season with Barcelona. Real Madrid take the title this time, and Barça gets third place. Real Madrid also takes the Supercopa, and neither take the Copa de España. That's Real Sociedad. But Jobe's dream of the Champions League trophy still seems unlikely as Barcelona goes out in the playoffs to Wolfsburg. But he still has a good season, scoring 17 and assisting 5 with yet another +2, which means he has officially now passed his brother in rating. The 2034 World Cup is coming up. The chemistry between the brothers have been broken. But will that affect England's World Cup run? England does top their group. They beat New Zealand and even the Czech Republic, but then lose to Germany in the semi-finals. Jobe does get 1 goal from it, but I think it's time we move him a bit further up the pitch. We're going to train him to be a center-attacking midfielder so that he can get a lot more goal contributions for Barcelona. Let's see how he does at his new position now. And Barcelona is back to winning the La Liga, can't win the Copa de España, and still no Champions League. But Jobe does get 23 goals with 11 assists. What a season. This is the current updated stats for Jobe and Jude Bellingham. They are getting very close in terms of goals and assists. Jude still has a lot more trophies, but neither has won a Ballon d'Or yet. Let's see if that changes this next season now. And neither brother actually wins the Ballon d'Or. It's this Clark guy. I don't even know who the is. And what a terrible season it is for Barcelona now. How come they only got 12th? But Real Madrid didn't win it either. Barcelona did, however, win the Supercopa, but neither could win the Copa de España. And Jobe is still missing his dream of winning the Champions League. But despite a bad season from Barcelona, Jobe still performs, getting 19 goals with 14 assists. Pretty good. He's choosing to stay at Barcelona, despite the bad season. But the Euros is coming up. Another chance for him to win another trophy with England and his brother. And England does too. Their group, they beat the Czech Republic, also beat Italy, and even France to win another Euros. And Jobe with 1 goal and 1 assist that competition. This is all really good for him, but he's missing one big trophy. That's the Champions League. But let's see how he does in Barcelona this season. And Barcelona is back on top. They've won another La Liga title. They couldn't win the Copa de España, and they obviously wasn't in any European competitions. And Jobe Bellingham got 10 goals with 7 assists, and he's 98 rated. Another amazing season, but he's getting older, and he's decided to leave Barcelona. But what club will offer for him? A lot of clubs have offered for him, but Jobe only has one club in his eye, and that is Liverpool. Ending his career at Liverpool? Will it be the right end or a disaster? And Liverpool gets third in the first season of Jobe. It's his former club Arsenal that wins it. Couldn't win any of the League Cups either, and Liverpool lost in the Conference League playoffs. He's still missing his European trophy. Jobe Bellingham did get 9 goals with 5 assists. Still a decent season, but his final season of his career is coming up, with also his final ever World Cup. His final chance of winning the World Cup with England. What a beautiful ending it would be. But can he actually do it? England only got second in their group, but they did make it through. They even beat Netherlands, and then Poland in the quarterfinals, and even beat Germany to reach Croatia in the final. Oh my God. Can Jobe Bellingham actually do it? And no way. He won the World Cup with England in his final season. That's amazing. He even got 3 goals that tournament, which is amazing. But still, 1 trophy left to win. It's the Champions League, the one he's been trying to win for so many years. Can he also win it in his final season? Let's just see. In his final season, Liverpool wins the Premier League, which is already an amazing start. They even win the FA Cup, but they can't win the Carabao Cup. Liverpool does amazing in the Champions League phase. They destroy Villarreal, even beat RB Salzburg understandably. And oh my God, he even beat his brother's side Madrid to reach the final against his former side Barcelona. This is his final chance of his career. But no! It's a heartbreak for Jobe. Loses the final to his former side Barcelona.